And good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you to this special presentation of West Suburban Conference Girls Basketball, where the York Dukes are taking on the Downers Grove North Trojans here at home. Luca DeSanto joining you alongside me is TJ Silkaitis, and hey folks, sorry about that little mini power outage here at York Sports Network. We know we promised you originally that we weren't going to be able to give you this presentation of the game, but we were able to last minute. But with that comes some complications. There's a quick 2 there for Downers Grove North starting off the game. And TJ, we were trying to. Why don't you tell us a bit about this matchup?
Yeah, Downers Grove North coming into this one 15-8, a solid record, 5-5 in the tough West Suburban Conference. York coming in at a 10-12 record, coming off a couple of tough losses for this team, and they're looking to bounce back, but it's never easy doing it against a conference opponent, especially one like Downers Grove North.
Thulin gives this one over to Gross. Now trying to give it up court, but it's stolen away by Silkaitis, and here come the Dukes. She gives it over to O'Brien. Now to Callahan. 5.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Kehoe up to Filosa. Filosa going to her left, goes inside, tough layup, got it.
Nice job there from Filosa going inside. Scoop layup with the left hand, able to get it to go.
Fanta now in the corner to Murphy. Back to Fanta. Bounces over to Thulin. Thulin tries to go inside, but a travel is called there.
Yeah, ref took a sweet time calling that one. He had everyone in a little hesitation. He blew the whistle, kind of just stood there for a second, eventually calls the traveling violation. So turnover there from Downers Grove North early, 2-2, 4:51 left to go here in the first quarter. And we would like to apologize with the no shot clock today. Had to use a different computer for the scoreboard, and that one doesn't have the one with our clock on it.
Absolutely, it does not, unfortunately. This is coming to you from the Jack Tosh, actually, this computer, as Callahan's pull-up mid-range jumper is no good. Thulin taking it up now. She's trapped in the corner. She goes inside. Somehow keeps her dribble. Kicks it out to Fanta for 3. Airballs it there. Filosa comes down with the ball. Filosa taking it the other way. Going by herself. Can't get the layup to go, but gives it back out to Silkaitis for 3. No good. Offensive rebound from Kehoe. That putback won't go. And Fanta now holds it for Downers North. Gross being trapped by O'Brien and Callahan. She breaks it, now gives it back to Thulin. Good zone here being run by York. Thulin gives it down low to Fanta. She goes up, no basket, and a travel is called.
Yeah, another travel there from Downers Grove North. They're having trouble holding on to the basketball and not turning it over early on in this one, and it's giving York opportunities. They had an opportunity on the other end for third chance points, but just couldn't get the baskets to go. But they're doing well on the offensive boards early on in this game.
Avery Larma checks into the game now for the first time for the Dukes. She's the first one off the bench coming in for Callahan. O'Brien's layup is blocked there by Gross. Gross is about to get this one taken away by O'Brien, but a jump ball is called, and it will stay with Downers North.
Again, sloppy offense from Downers Grove North. This time it doesn't turn into a turnover, as they're fortunate enough to have the jump ball arrow in their favor, but they got to do a better job at holding on to the basketball and not turning it over. It doesn't matter who you're playing in this conference. If you're not taking care of the basketball, you're going to let the other team start pulling away from you.
Gross gives this one to Thulin, who steps into a three-pointer. Airballs that one. It's rebounded by O'Brien. The Dukes are going to try and push here. O'Brien slows down on the other side. Now gives it to Filosa. 3 minutes to go here in the first quarter. O'Brien over to Larma. Now to Filosa. Filosa goes inside. Another tough layup. Can't get it to go that time. Ball deflected there by Larma. O'Brien picks it up, tries to give it over to Kehoe. And Fanta just went right into Kehoe's body. Ball will stay with the Dukes. Kehoe's going to check out now as Amelie Van Euclid will check in for the first time.
Yeah, and those are always tough calls to make as a ref because it's two people just going at after a loose ball. Neither one of them is trying to make contact with the other. They're just trying to get to the ball first. And in that instance, they're going to get the foul called on Downers Grove North. But that one you can't be too upset about if you're the Trojans.
Larma gives this one to Van Euclid. Van Euclid getting covered tightly here. Larma's able to keep control of the ball, gives it up to O'Brien. O'Brien being stopped, has to give it to Filosa. Now to Van Euclid. Silkaitis spinning, going inside, layup. Got it! Great move there from Olivia Silkaitis.
Yeah, Silkaitis liked the matchup there that she had on her and took her straight to the hole, doing a great job. Nice spin move near the free throw line, getting open, and a nice right-hand finish there off the glass.
Sandbridge. Now to Thulin. Thulin back to Sandbridge. Gross going inside, gives it back out. Fanta for three in the corner, won't go. Another missed offensive possession there. And what a great block there from Thulin on the other end, though, TJ.
Yeah, Thulin making up for it. She airballs on one side, but that doesn't phase her. She gets right back out on defense. And we've kind of seen that as being a theme for her, not just her in the past years, but also her older brothers as well. They're all have been big factors in this Downers Grove North program for years, especially on the basketball court. Really known as hustle players who can shoot the lights out from the outside.
Dukes trade an air ball there. Filosa not able to make that three. DGN's ball now.
A very quiet first quarter from both teams on offense. 4-2 is the score with a minute 30 left to play. It's been very sloppy, lots of fouls, lots of turnovers. One of these two teams has to figure it out sooner rather than later. Otherwise, it's going to be a very, very low-scoring affair.
Fanta. Now to Gross. Gross gives this one down low to Murphy. Murphy in the corner to Thulin. She's being guarded by Filosa. Thulin up top. Gross gets called for a travel there.
Third traveling violation from Downers Grove North in the first quarter. And it just seems to be a trend that both these teams are following. Not taking care of the basketball very well at all. A lot of low percentage shots from both teams as well. And that's why we're sitting at just 4-2 here, nearing the end of the first quarter.
Silkaitis going inside. Has to give it back out to O'Brien. Now to Van Euclid. In the corner to Silkaitis. O'Brien in the corner going inside. Layup won't go. Silkaitis trying to come down with the rebound, but O'Brien gets it. She can't keep control of it, and they'll say it was out of bounds and last touched by O'Brien, so it'll go DGN's way.
Yeah, tough shot from O'Brien. She tried driving baseline. Looked like she had an opening, but then met by a help side defender of Downers Grove North. And it's always tough to put up a scoop layup when you have two people all over you. And that's what O'Brien tried doing right there. Did not get it to go.
30 seconds to go now in the first quarter. Score still 4-2. DGN looking to tie or take the lead before they head to the break. Sandbridge gives us one now in the corner. Three ball won't go. Murphy pulls down the offensive board. Now down low to Gross, and she gets the two to fall.
Yeah, nice shot there from Gross. Making a nice play now, tying up the ball game.
Filosa tries to get this one out to O'Brien, but it's tipped away. And out of bounds, last touch by York.
That's not a turnover you can have in the last 5 seconds of a quarter. You had an opportunity there to regain the lead going into the second, but instead you kind of just flipped the ball up there. I don't know if it was a miscommunication there from Filosa or O'Brien on that, but Filosa tried tipping it up to her teammate and was not ready for it.
Last second shot from Gross. Airballed, and wouldn't have even counted. 4-4, your score heading into the second quarter. You're watching York Sports Network. Welcome back. Start of the second quarter, and it is all tied up at 4-4. Silkaitis tries to sneak that ball down low to Callahan, but she is not there in time.
Yeah, I don't think Callahan was expecting that one. Silkaitis just a step ahead of her on that nice pass. Just Callahan didn't even put a hand out there to try and grab it. Turnover happening once again. Still 4-4.
Sandbridge gets this one taken away, but she takes it away again from Filosa on the break. Now to Fanta. Fanta swings this one in the corner to Thulin. Now one more to Murphy. Murphy's not able to hold that ball down, and it almost looked like she could have still grabbed it before going out.
Yeah, that's 2 possessions in a row from 2 separate teams where it kind of seems like gave up on the pass at hand, and especially that one. I mean, Murphy was wide open down low. If she catches that, turns around, that's an easy 2 points and a lead for Downers Grove North.
Filosa gets a screen from Byrne. Gets it tapped out. Kehoe's there to recover. Kehoe going inside. Layup won't go, but she's fouled on the way up. And has a chance at 2.
Yeah, Kehoe, a bit of an underrated player here for the York Dukes. She's overshadowed a little bit by Filosa and Silkaitis, but she puts in great work on the boards when she's out there for this team, and she does a great job on the interior offensively. She helps this team out a lot with offensive rebounding, and we see her get to the line very often as she does here, but she does miss the first one.
Kehoe goes 0 for 2 from the line there. Thulin pulls down the rebound. She gives it to Gross. Now to Thulin again. 7 minutes left here in the second quarter. Thulin to Gross. Now back to Thulin. Over to Sandbridge. Thulin gets called for a travel there right above the free throw line, and it's Duke's ball.
Yeah, I mean, in today's basketball, you're mostly seeing refs kind of overlook the traveling violation, but today has been the exact opposite. We have seen 4 travels called on Downers Grove North, 1 on York already in just the second quarter. Plenty of time left to go. It's definitely very interesting on how the refs are blowing the whistle, so we'll have to see how that affects the game later on.
Kehoe now to Filosa. Over to Callahan now. Callahan goes inside, kicks it out to Kehoe in the corner for 3. Won't go, but Byrne is there for the offensive board, high off the glass putback. That is what the Dukes need right now, TJ. Easy buckets.
Yeah, that's a great job there from Byrne. York's done a great job on the offensive glass so far in this game. You see it there once again, a second chance opportunity. This time Byrne is able to capitalize for the Dukes and give them the lead.
DGN getting hounded on defense here on this possession. Dukes getting a little momentum off that make from the other end of the quarter. I don't know. Thulin 3-ball goes, and that's the momentum you want.
Yeah, we were waiting for it up here. Thulin, we were expecting some threes early on. She missed a couple, but she knocks down that first one, and as good of a shooter as she is, all you need to see is one go in, and you're going to start building some confidence towards the rest of your game.
Filosa gets called for a travel there. Another traveling violation called in this ball game.
And at this point, I think it's mutual between the coaches. They've both shown some frustration about the traveling calls. And, I mean, the one thing you can't be upset about is that it's going both ways. It's just making the game pace go a lot slower with how many traveling violations have been called.
Sandbridge gives us one now. Up top to Thulin. Now to Sandbridge again in the corner. Her three-pointer won't go. It's tipped out by O'Brien. Now to Filosa. Filosa pushing. She's by herself. Tries to go for a layup there, and they'll say it was last out on her.
Definitely confused about that one. Filosa was nowhere near the inside of the paint area. She was about 15 feet out, and it still looked like she was trying to attempt a scoop layup with the left hand with a defender draped all over her. I know that scoop layup is her go-to move, and it does a good job of giving her extra space around the defender, but in a situation like that, how far away she was from the basket, definitely not the ideal shot there if you're the Dukes.
5 minutes to go now here in the second quarter. Score now 7-6. DGM with the lead. Screen there up top from Murphy. A down low pass, and it's blocked away by Silkaitis. O'Brien trying to pull down the ball, and they're going to call a jump.
And jump ball's going to keep it here, too. That's a tough one. You get the momentum from the block, and you're supposed to be pushing it in transition the other way, looking to take back the lead, and then that happens.
Not what you were looking for there if you're the Dukes. Again, you would have had so much momentum going the other way, but this ball is stolen by Callahan and won't even matter.
Huge play there from Callahan, but Downers Grove North must have thought she was on their team because that pass was directly to her.
O'Brien goes up for a tough two, and she's fouled, and now we'll have a chance for another two.
Yeah, Briley O'Brien, definitely one of the up-and-comers for this York Duke team, only a sophomore starting for them, and she does a great job getting to the basket. Just like Keogh, they both do a great job at getting to the free throw line. We're going to see if O'Brien's going to be able to knock down her shots as she misses the first one there.
O'Brien's second free throw is up and good. That's only 1 point there, as David Wawira would say. That is a round down moment. I mean, that's basically zero. I don't know. It's teetering between one bucket and no buckets.
But you have to think about it as a positive. You just tied up the ball game here in the second quarter.
Long three there is no good from Thulin. It's pulled down by Silkaitis. I'm joking, by the way. Those are crucial points. I'm joking. Silkaitis out to O'Brien. Now to Kehoe. Tie ball game now with 4 minutes to go in the second quarter. Filosa fakes from three. She instead goes inside. Kiss off the glass is good.
Yeah, good pump fake there on the outside by Filosa. Got her defender jumping, and then had an easy path to the basket.
Thulin now. Getting guarded by O'Brien up top. Trying to go to her right. Gives it back out up top to Sandbridge. Gross gives it over to Thulin again. Thulin tries to give this one way in the corner to Sandbridge, but it goes out of bounds.
Yeah, good look there from Thulin. She realized that she had a teammate wide open there in the corner. Would have been a wide open layup attempt for them. Just a little way wire on the pass, heading out of bounds. And a timeout called here from Downers Grove North as York holds a 2-point lead, 9-7, with 3:29 left to go in the second quarter.
Welcome back here. You know, the one thing we like to talk about at York Sports Network is the numbers we bring as a crew. A lot of times, you know, we have bigger crews, bigger operations than most high school sports networks do. But what if I told you that there were only 2 people operating this broadcast? Luca DeSanto and TJ Silkaitis. Oh, what a move there! What a running pass from O'Brien to Silkaitis.
Yeah, O'Brien, a jump pass in transition, finds Silkaitis wide open down low on the left block and is able to get it to go. And a 4-point lead now, biggest lead of the day here for York.
Gross gives us one in the corner now. Drive inside, pass out intended there for 23 on DGN. Instead, it's taken away by Filosa. Van Euclem over to Silkaitis. Now to O'Brien. 11-7 ball game now with 2 minutes, 45 seconds. Duke's lead. Filosa gives us one behind to Larma. Larma back to Filosa. Long three-pointer from Filosa. She got it.
Big shot there from Filosa. Takes one from way downtown. Able to connect on the 3-ball. Rattles in for her. A 7-point lead now for the Dukes.
Thulin pulls up from 3. No good. Another air ball there. Olsen getting hounded, but she gets the putback to go.
I was about to say there, Luca, it looked like she should have went up with it right away, but instead holds on to it for a second. Kind of just throws it up at the glass. Does get it to go, though. So a big shot there from Downers Grove North, now making it back to a 2-possession game.
And now it's just an all-offensive game right here. Both Dukes and DGN are just pushing the pace, trying everything. But now DGN's getting slowed down by this tough Dukes defense. A down low pass to Sandbridge. Now back up top. Gross. Goes inside. Floater, no good. Offensive rebound, though, by Goodwin. Now to Thulin. Down to Sandbridge again, and a foul called on the Dukes.
Good possession there from Downers Grove North, doing a nice job working on the offensive boards. Getting multiple opportunities there, couldn't connect on it, but will get the ball back here with 1:40 left to go in the second quarter.
I mean, just an electric game so far. I should say an electric quarter. You know, we were coming in with a pretty low-scoring affair, and things are it's still pretty low scoring, but everything's really seeming to pick up. Both teams are finding what they need to get going.
Yeah, a lot less turnovers in the second quarter from both teams. A lot less travels in the second quarter as well, as we were mentioning earlier on this game. But also the scoring, they're just finding ways to get closer to the basket, get higher percentage looks for themselves, and it's really working for both teams well, especially for the Dukes so far. They have 6 out of their 10 points coming from inside the paint this quarter, minus the 3-pointer from Filosa and the 1 free throw from O'Brien. And Downers Grove North has done the same thing, the 1 3-ball from Thulin, but besides that, all their points coming in from the down low area.
Thulin inbounds this one now to Gross. Minute and a half left here in this exciting first half. Thulin gives this one now in the corner to Goodwin. Goodwin up top to Gross. Gross goes inside. Bounces down low to Murphy. Now outside 3-pointer. No good there from Fanta. O'Brien now taking it the other way for the Dukes. A minute left. And a foul called there on Goodwin.
Nice job there from O'Brien. Great box out. Working against a much taller defender from Downers North. Does a good job getting the positioning right, getting the offensive rebound, and then drawing the foul there as she tries bringing it up for the Dukes.
It's Filosa to trigger on the inbound. O'Brien comes out. Gets a screen from Silkaitis. O'Brien goes inside, collects her step, and a jump ball is called. They were both tangled up with the ball there in midair, TJ.
Yeah, I mean, that's just really good defense there from number 11, Abby Gross, on that play. Getting her hands on the ball, not making any contact with O'Brien's body, making sure that her team doesn't get a foul call, but a turnover there from the York Dukes.
Rough inbound pass there from O'Brien, just a bit short there, and just went right in the middle of the court, and a bunch of North players and York players met. Thulin can't get past O'Brien. Now being guarded by Larma. She's trapped in the corner. This ball is tipped away. O'Brien takes it away now. 40 seconds. Larma, cross-court pass. She can't get the lay to go.
And a blocking foul called on O'Brien. Just got there a little bit late. Right idea, but just not able to execute.
Just wasn't able to commit in time, playing her feet. Goodwin will take a seat now for Downers North. Thulin to inbound here to Gross. Gross gives it back to Thulin. Less than 30 seconds to go here in the first half. Thulin now to Fanta. Fanta gives us one in the corner to Sandbridge. Now to Thulin again. 15 seconds. Sandbridge back to Thulin. Down low pass is taken away there by O'Brien. And now the Dukes have 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3 seconds. Filosa hoists this at the buzzer. It's blocked and tipped away. Murphy comes down with the rebound, and that's how the first half will end. Score 14-9 here. Dukes with the 5-point lead. TJ, what are the Dukes doing right now?
Yeah, they're taking care of the basketball. A lot less turnovers than they had in the first quarter. Led them to kind of get out to that lead, but also great passing from this team, especially on the interior. They're doing a great job at finding open people underneath the basket, getting good looks. Their shooting percentage went up a lot there in that second quarter. Just the high percentage shots is what's doing it for them right now. And Downers Grove North is trying to stick to that outside game that normally works for them, but they are ice cold in that first half.
Couldn't agree more, TJ. Just couldn't agree more. We'll step aside here. Second half coming your way. You're watching York Sports Network. Welcome you back here. Start of the second half of such an exciting ball game here. 14-9, your score as the York Dukes are taking on the Downers Grove North Trojans.
Yes, a very slow first quarter, but a very high intensity, very fast-paced second quarter, which has got us to what we have right now. And it's always fun when you get to see a team like Downers Grove North travel over here to York High School to play in a West Suburban Conference matchup. The West Suburban Conference is known as being one of the most consistent conferences in Illinois, always having one or two teams that do so well in whatever sports tournament it happens to be, and it's not any different here for the girls' basketball conference either.
Fanta almost gets his pass tipped away by Filosa. Instead gives it back up to Thulin now. 3 ball off the mark there from Gross, and it's pulled down by O'Brien. O'Brien gives this one over to Silkaitis. Now bounces it back to O'Brien. She goes up with the layup, just not able to get it off her shoulder there almost in time. And she's now going to go to the line for 2.
Yeah, but a great give-and-go execution there from the Dukes. O'Brien finds Silkaitis, and Silkaitis right back to her. She sees that she has an open lane to the basket. Downers Grove North has to try and recover, and the foul was called.
O'Brien's first free throw won't go there. Second free throw also won't go. She's still in a round down position there. Thulin gets the tip pass and now gives it back to Fanta. Back to Thulin. Gross. Now to Thulin. Thulin pulls up from the free throw line, won't go. It's pulled down by Silkaitis. Now to O'Brien. O'Brien to Silkaitis again. Now to Callahan. Callahan goes back out. Back to O'Brien. Now to Filosa. Now in the corner to Kehoe. Dukes are trying to look for something inside here, but DGN is just hounding them on defense. O'Brien spins, goes inside, gives a nice pass to Filosa, but she cannot get the lay to go. And it's taken away by DGN. Now Thulin pushing, has to go back. Now to Gross. Back to Thulin. 6 minutes left here in the third quarter. Still no buckets in the second half.
Very defensive-heavy quarter is what we've seen so far. We didn't really see much intensity on the defensive side from either team in the first half, but it's really picked up here in the beginning of the second. Neither team wants to allow anything on the inside, forcing some tough outside shots or tough inside shots that normally you wouldn't take, as we see a foul being called there on the ground on York.
And that was honestly, that foul almost seemed to work out for them. Fanta got the ball right before the whistle was blown, and she had a wide open look from 3. Gross triggering on the inbound for DGN. Gives it to Murphy. She has a nice look down low, and she connects.
Yeah, Murphy beating her defender there, getting on the inside, getting good position, and an easy layup there for the Trojans.
Silkaitis gives it to Filosa. Back to O'Brien now. Over to Silkaitis. Callahan steps into a 3. This one won't go. It's rebounded by Fanta. And now DGN has another chance to attack here after scoring on their last possession. Thulin over to Gross. Back to Thulin. Now to Fanta. Fanta being doubled, and a foul called there on Filosa. They'll say she reached.
Yeah, 3-point game here. Downers Grove North with an opportunity to tie this one up. 5 minutes left to go in the third quarter. York trying to make a defensive stand to give themselves a chance at making this a 2-score ball game once again.
Gross gives this one over to Sambridge. Now back to Gross. Over to Sambridge again. Sambridge being guarded tightly by Callahan. Gross gets it back. She goes inside. Now back out. Sambridge wide open for 3. Connects. And just like that, it's a tie ball game.
Downers Grove North coming out of the half, looking good on the offensive side, holding the Dukes to 0 so far in the quarter.
Filosa, tough drive, can't get it to go. And it's taken away by DGN. Here goes Gross, gives it over to Sambridge. Now back to Gross. DGN trying to look for something on the inside here. Gross gives this one over to Thule, and she's being guarded by Silkaitis. Now back out to Sambridge. Swings it over. 3-ball from Gross won't go. And Murphy trying to come down with the rebound, but instead Thulin comes down with it. Second chance points here for DGN. Murphy gets it down low and gets the 2, and DGN takes the lead.
And there's that hustle play we see from Thulin right there, doing a great job of getting the offensive board off the tip, finding Murphy down low, able to get the 2 points, and now lead over the York Dukes 16-14 with 3:37 left to go in the third quarter.
Coach Collins calls a timeout now for the Dukes. And this is just not the position they want to be in right now. We'll step aside. You are watching York Sports Network. Welcome back here from the timeout. 3.5 minutes left here in the third quarter. O'Brien gets a screen from Silkaitis there, now gives it over to Kehoe. Kehoe looking for something, gives it to Silkaitis. Silkaitis gets this one stripped away, but Filosa's there to recover. She tracks back out, gives it to O'Brien. They reset now. O'Brien missed the backdoor cut there, instead gives it to Callahan. Now to Kehoe. Over to Silkaitis. Silkaitis going inside, gives this one to Filosa now in the corner. Filosa drives, bounces it, passes it down low to Kehoe. Great job there from both Kehoe and Filosa. Great court vision and a great finish.
Yeah, Silkaitis has to get rid of it, finds Filosa over in the corner. Filosa beats her defender on the baseline and realizes the defense is collapsing and does a great job to feed it inside to Kehoe, who's able to finish it at the basket.
Thulin. Now to Sambridge. Shaw being trapped in the corner. She's being guarded tightly by Silkaitis. Gives it back to Gross. Gross being guarded by Callahan. And a timeout called there by DGN. Some pesky defense being played in the corner by both Silkaitis and Callahan. They need to figure that out. Tie ball game, 16-all. You're watching York Sports Network. Why not? Because this is a great game, TJ. He was just asking, why not leave now? And I said, because this is a great game.
Yeah, I would never say that, Luca. Come on now. A tie ball game, Western Suburban Conference basketball? No way.
Kehoe almost came in with the steal there. Instead gives it in the corner to Fanta. Fanta gets this one stripped away by Van Uclum. She finally grabs the ball, gives it over to Larma. Now to Filosa. Filosa going inside for 2, and she is fouled on the way up, and she will have another chance at 2.
Yeah, good thing there she got fouled from York, because going 2-on-1 isn't normally your ideal situation in the fast break, especially when you have an open person in the corner like Kehoe was on that opportunity. But Filosa getting a little bit of a break there, getting the foul called. Chance here to retake the lead back from the Trojans. 16-16 is the current score of this one. 1:43 remaining in the third quarter.
Filosa's first free throw is good. All you could hear was just a swish fall across the
Too bad we don't have a
gym.
crowd mic. That would have definitely amplified that net sound, but it sounded beautiful from here for us.
Or a mic on the backboard. Another swish there. That would have sounded pristine. If you want to hear a mic on the backboard, I ask you to go back to Tosh from 2 years ago and go watch the alumni game 2 days before the Tosh.
Yeah, great net sounds all day.
That was
it just adds a little something extra that you don't get when you're in person. You know, when you're in person, you get to hear all that fancy stuff with the backboard and the rim, and you get to hear all the clanks, all the swishes, all those beautiful basketball sounds, but you just don't get those at home without the mics on the backboard.
And then hear player chatter, too. You can pick some of that up. Only clean stuff, though. Larma for 3. That one is good.
Huge three-pointer. Avery Larma from the right wing, able to knock it down. A 5-point lead now from the Dukes. Starting to grab the momentum here from the Trojans.
Ball given down low to Murphy. She responds on the other side. And both these teams exchanging buckets now.
Huge play there. Murphy done a great job this quarter. 6 points for this Trojans team, all coming down low in the paint area. She's doing a phenomenal job. York's got to find a way to stop them.
Van Uclum tried to go around the screen there and go inside, but instead it's stripped away by DGN. And a foul on the way up called there on Filosa. And now Thulin will go to the line for 2.
Yeah, great job there from Thulin. In transition, does a great job getting to the basket. Not in position as Filosa, just a little bit late to the spot. And Thulin now has an opportunity to bring us back within a 1-point game. 33.9 seconds remain here in the quarter.
Thulin's first free throw is up and good.
There's another one there, Luca. Beautiful swish set.
Yeah.
Don't want to sound repetitive, but.
And I will point out that Larma 3 was a swish, too. It was just hard to hear as we were both shouting. Out of excitement, of course. Second free throw is good. And now it is a 1-point game.
Got ourselves a good one here, Luca.
Larma over to O'Brien. O'Brien trying to go inside, instead gives it to Kehoe. Kehoe drives inside, collects her step, and she is fouled on the way up, and now she will have a chance for 2.
Yeah, there it is once again, Ellie Kehoe. Great job getting to the basket, drawing the foul. Draped all over her was the Trojans defender and Murphy. And with that, we're going to see 2 shots here from Kehoe.
Kehoe went 0 for 2 on her first trip, but she connects on this first one, and it's a 2-point lead now for the Dukes.
Yeah, free throws playing a crucial factor in this game up to this point. Only a 2-point lead here from York. Both teams have shot from the free throw line very well.
And a lane violation called there on York. Not a lane violation.
I would like to apologize once again. It seems a common theme here. I come back and I announce a game and I say something about free throws, and then right afterwards we see one that doesn't look too good. Yeah, that one did not touch the rim, so it was a shot violation there on York.
5 seconds to go. Thulin holding up top. They got to get a shot off. Thulin at the buzzer. Oh, she got it to go. And that is how the third quarter will end. A tie game heading into the fourth.
A huge shot there. Thulin doing her best to keep the Trojans in this game, was down by 2, had an open look there at the buzzer, able to knock it down, tie this ball game back up, giving momentum back to Downers Grove North as we are about to go into the start of this fourth quarter. And what a good game here we have at the Dick Campbell Gymnasium here at York High School.
And with that, we will head into the fourth quarter shortly. You are watching York Sports Network. Welcome back here, start of the fourth quarter. And it is 22-all.
A phenomenal third quarter we just got to see there, Luca. Both teams battling it back and forth, 3 different lead changes. Downers Grove North able to tie it back up at the buzzer from the shot from Thulin. A 22-22 ball game in the West Suburban Conference to see who can come out on top here.
Larma going inside, gets it stripped away by Thulin.
Thulin putting in work here for Downers Grove North. We saw the buzzer beater and a couple threes from her so far, and does a great job there on the defensive side getting the steal.
Gross. Now to Sandbridge, back to Gross. Pass outside there is deflected and taken away by Filosa. Filosa by herself, layup won't go. And Goodwin pulls the board down, and it's DGN's ball. Now to Sandridge.
That's not one you can miss if you're York. A wide open layup to take the lead in the fourth quarter, and just couldn't get it to go. Rolls out of the rim, but you also got to expect someone to be there to grab the offensive board, but no one was there as Filosa was all by herself.
Thulin gives us one in the corner. Sandridge for 3, airballs it, but Goodwin comes down with the board. And another chance at 3 here from Thulin won't go. Kehoe dives for the board, and she's called for a travel there.
Yeah, it appeared that Kehoe came in possession of the basketball before she was already laying on the ground. So with that movement, that's going to be called every time as we see Silkaitis check back in for Van Euclum.
6 minutes, 29 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter. Kehoe almost deflects his pass. Instead, Thulin pulls it down, but she throws it out of bounds there. And it's going to... Well, both teams pleading their case here.
Yeah, I was about to say that's definitely York basketball. They're calling for a tip, but it looked like Thulin was just mixed between who she wanted to pass it to. It looked like she tried getting it in between Sandridge and Fanta, but she couldn't decide which one to go to, and it just went straight out of bounds. But these Downers Grove North fans really thought that it was tipped out of bounds.
Silkaitis gives this one over to Byrne now. Back to Silkaitis, now to Callahan. Callahan going inside, gives it to Filosa. Filosa, pump fakes, gives it back out to Byrne. Dukes are being rushed here to get something. I mean, DGN just coming in with some kind of firepower after that call there. And ball tipped out, and it'll stay with York.
Yeah, good defensive possession there from Thule and not letting Filosa get any room or separation. Does a great job poking it out of bounds, and now York's going to have to reset their offense once again. 5:54 remaining in this fourth quarter. 22-22 your score.
Filosa inbounds this one to O'Brien. O'Brien goes inside, collects her step, and she is fouled on the way up.
And there it is once again. O'Brien getting herself to the free throw line. A layup attempt kind of far away from the basket, a little bit out of control, but there was definitely some contact there. And now she'll go to the line here for 2, opportunity to take back this lead.
O'Brien's first free throw won't go. Second free throw up and no good. And it'll remain a tie ball game now.
Free throws are starting to come back to bite York a little bit. They've struggled from the free throw line in this game, and there's been definitely opportunities where they could have started pulling away, but instead we got ourselves a tie ball game.
And a timeout called by DGN there.
They give a timeout to Downers Grove North, but the ball was clearly loose on the floor.
That could have gone any way. I mean, a jump ball could have been called there if anything.
Yeah.
No one had definite possession there.
No way. And even so, if you thought Downers Grove North had it, I mean, that's a tough one to call.
So with that, we will step aside here with 5 minutes, 32 seconds to go here in this ball game. 22-all. You are watching York Sports Network. Welcome back here. Fourth quarter, 5.5 minutes to go. DGM basketball. Corner three here from Fanta to take the lead. No good. Thulin comes down with the offensive board. Thulin to Gross. Back to Thulin. Gross again. Being guarded by O'Brien. Thulin turns around, pulls up. Oh, and she gets it to go right off the front of the rim and got it to rattle in.
Yeah, a wide open jumper from the elbow. They just left her alone. You can't do that, especially when it's Thulin, and she makes them pay for it, giving them a 2-point lead now with just under 5 minutes to play.
Callahan for three, no good. Pulled down by Silkaitis. Silkaitis trying to fight for the ball there, and it's called a jump. 4 minutes, 41 seconds to go now. DGN now at the 2-point lead.
Yeah, Downers Grove North going to gain possession off that as well. Or hold on. Or yes, it will be. The refs had a little stoppage in play there, but a 2-point lead for Downers Grove North, and we know Downers Grove North likes to play very slow when they have the lead, passing the ball around, and that's the one negative to high school basketball not having a shot clock, is that it really slows down the pace of play.
Flosa tries to take this one away, but Thulin gets back there on the recovery first. Thulin gets tracked out in the corner now, being guarded by Byrne. Now up top to Gross. Back to Sandridge. Gross. Now in the corner to Thulin. Gives her to Sandridge. She fakes. Back to Gross. And they just can't get a look here.
Yeah, here's the slow pace of play that I was just talking about, Luca. They just pass the ball around the perimeter near the half-court line, back and forth, trying to drain as much time as possible. Very risky, though, I will say, with only a 2-point lead. Definitely a little bit questionable. I would expect it more with a bigger lead, but with just a 2-point lead, it seems a little odd.
Thulin's three ball there won't go, and it's pulled down by Byrne, and here come the Dukes. Callahan fakes. Gives it to Kehoe. Now to Filosa. Filosa tries to go inside, but the ball is stripped away there by Sandridge. And DGN has another chance to attack here.
And Filosa just trying to force something when it's not there. 3 defenders all draped around her, still trying to cut through all 3 of them to get to the inside, but doesn't work out for her. But she does come back on the other side with a turnover.
Filosa gets a steal and a foul called there on Gross.
And it's Gross's second foul. Foul trouble not really too much of a factor in this game. Filosa leading for the Dukes with 3 fouls, and Fanta leading the Downers Grove North team with 3 fouls as well. So it doesn't appear that we'll have to worry too much about the foul trouble, as we just have 2:56 remaining here in this one.
Timeout called here by York. We will step away. You are watching York Sports Network. Back here from the break, O'Brien taking it up. Now to Silkaitis. Over to Callahan. Callahan to Kehoe. Now in the corner, Filosa. Her three-pointer, no good. And rebounded by Gross over to Thulin. Gross back to Thulin. Thulin getting trapped, has to give it back to Gross. 2 minutes, 15 seconds left here. Murphy gets this one stripped away. Fanta's there to recover. And a traveling violation called there by Thulin. Another turnover from her.
Yeah, we know that the refs have been not very lenient on those traveling violations all game long, especially it seems to be on Thulin. That's Thulin's now 5th turnover on just traveling violations alone. She's played a great game outside of that, but the turnovers have really been halting their team.
Callahan goes inside and ties it up.
Huge play, Callahan splitting the defense, going inside and getting the 2 to go. Now a tie ball game, 24 apiece, 1:50 left to play in the 4th.
Just a ferocious player, willing to go inside all the time. Kendall Cutler, no. Kayla Callahan. Ball inside there, and a lead taken again there. Gross gets it to go. O'Brien pushing now, 1.5 minutes left.
We're trying to slow things down here on this possession, get a good look. They don't want the ball to go back to Downers Grove North with a lead.
O'Brien to Silkaitis. Now to O'Brien again. Filosa being guarded by Thulin. Filosa goes inside, gives it to Callahan, now to Kehoe. Silkaitis able to track it down, and a timeout called here by the Dukes. Smart move there, 55 seconds left here, 26-24, DGN with the lead. You are watching York Sports Network. Welcome back here. 55 seconds left. York basketball, they trail by 2. Callahan gets this one in the corner, gives it to O'Brien. O'Brien just getting hounded on defense here by Gross. Kehoe able to keep that ball in bounds, gives it to Filosa. Less than 40 seconds to go now. Filosa swings this one in the corner to Kehoe. Filosa. 25 seconds to go now. Silkaitis gives this one to O'Brien. O'Brien to Callahan.
They got to start moving quickly. 20 seconds.
Less than now. Timeout called with 18.8 seconds to go, and they just can't get a look here, whether they're trying to go inside and tie it up or try and get a 3 to take the lead. They could still hold for the last possession, obviously, nonetheless.
Yeah, and Luca, the other thing is I don't know what the plan was coming out of that timeout. It didn't seem like there was a play drawn up at all. It was just get the ball in and let the offense run, but now with 20 seconds left, you really got to think that Coach Collins here has got to draw something up on the whiteboard, get an open look for one of your scorers. Most likely, if they're going to go to that, it'd be to Filosa or Silkaitis, as they've led this team offensively all year long. But something's got to be drawn up here. They got to get an open look for somebody down too.
And thankfully, I mean, you have a lineup of 5 scorers in the game right now. You have Callahan, Filosa, O'Brien, Kehoe, and Silkaitis, who can all score, and you can trust each of them to take a game winner here or to tie it up. So we'll see exactly what they do here with 18 seconds left, and we'll be coming right out of timeouts, both these teams. But like you said, you just got to hope that they have a play, some kind of play seemingly drawn up.
You also have to think that in practice, you're practicing these situations, right? You're down by 2 in a close game. You're over on the sideline, and in these situations, normally coaches will have plays drawn up or pre-practice during practice earlier in the week.
And let's go back to that last home game that York had against Glenbard West. They had a potential to tie it up, and they had a great play drawn up. They just foiled it at the end, but we know they're capable of running a great play here. O'Brien gives us one to Silkaitis. Now to Filosa, 10 seconds left. Filosa goes inside for the tie, no. Callahan gets it back, gives it to the corner. O'Brien for 3 at the buzzer, no good. Murphy pulls it down, and there is 0.6 seconds left to go. And the problem with this now is
neither team's close to the bonus, so that's going to do it. I did not love that last play. That's going to do it.
And another heartbreaking end to a York game here, 26-24.
Yeah, I mean, Downship North played a heck of a game. They did a great job coming back in the second half. York once again blowing a lead in the second half to a conference opponent. It seems like they can get themselves out in front, but they just can't hold on to it, and that's something they got to work on in practice and mentality-wise. But you also got to look back at that last play, right? 40 seconds left. You call the timeout, didn't have a play drawn up, and then you call another timeout with 18 seconds. But there was not another play drawn up right after that. 18 seconds, you have to have a play ready to go. And that time that York just didn't have anything called. Coach Collins, they just got the ball into Briley O'Brien at half court. They were just kind of passing around. And then Anna Filosa drove in and tried shooting a layup with the with the off hand once again over multiple defenders. A good look from O'Brien in the corner off the rebound, but when you're in close games in such a tough conference, you have to have stuff pre-planned for situations like this.
That'll bring the end to our coverage here of this game. Final score, 26-24 DGN. A great win here. I have been Luca DeSanto. Alongside me has been TJ Silkaitis. Thank you for watching York Sports Network.